Hello everyone, I'm Lucy Fanger, CEO of On Technology Partners, and I'm proud to be sponsoring our new program, Women STaRs. In each episode, we will spotlight an amazing woman and the struggles and triumphs that she has faced. Then we will reflect and share her insights. Our goal is to engage, entertain, and explore the women stars in our world today. I hope you enjoy.
I want to thank you all for listening today. My name is Shanti Harkness, and I'm the Media Manager for On Technology Partners, a woman-owned company addressing cybersecurity and risk. Join us as we share the reflections of women just like you that have survived struggles and embraced triumphs in their lives. Today, we'll be talking with Meredith Farrow. Meredith is the founder and CEO of the Ohio-based organic hemp extract manufacturer, Clean Remedies, LLC, where she leads her company in creating superior organic hemp extract products, education, and sales. Her years of helping others got pushed to the forefront with the unexpected and devastating loss of her husband's childhood best friend and godfather to their children. Immediately, she decided she wanted to do everything she could to help prevent another tragic suicide and help those who are suffering. Today, Meredith is the founder and CEO of Clean Remedies, a USDA-certified organic hemp extract manufacturer with over 20 products. She serves as one of 11 board members on the Ohio Hemp Association, a member of the Women's Business Enterprise National Council, a leader of cannabis education, and a respected consultant in the cannabis industry. Through tragedy, she found hope and has used her experience, education, and empathetic spirit to create a successful business offering hope to those that need it most. Meredith, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today.
Thank you, Shanti. Thanks for having me.
So before we begin, why don't you tell us something that others may not know about yourself or something exciting about yourself?
Yeah, so something that a lot of people don't know about me is that I had postpartum depression, I had anxiety, and that is also another reason that I got into the cannabis industry. We focus so heavily on the story of my husband's childhood best friend, but at the same time, I had 2 kids a year apart and was really suffering, didn't really know why I was feeling this way, told my doctor, they put me on a slew of different medications. And I always tell people when you're at the lowest point in your life, you never ask, well, what are the side effects? How addictive is this? You just want to feel better. And so I started taking the medications. And while I did start to feel better, I became addicted to Ativan, which is a benzo. And it's for anxiety, sleep, those kinds of things. And it was very difficult for me to get off of that. And hemp or CBD is one of the reasons I was able to kick that habit, get rid of it. And so a lot of people don't know that about me. We focus a lot at Clean Remedies on the story of our friend who did commit suicide, but I've had some struggles that CBD has definitely helped me to get out of those dark holes.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And especially thank you for sharing about your experience with postpartum depression. I know that's something that oftentimes isn't talked about as openly as I think that it should be, because I feel like a lot more women go through that than we realize.
Right.
I know my own mother experienced that with one of her pregnancies. So I thank you for sharing that, so that hopefully that kind of gives inspiration to others to speak up and to seek out help when they need it.
Right.
Well, we all know that triumphs don't come without their struggles. Talk to us a little bit about what some of your biggest struggles have been. This can be either professionally or personally. And how were you able to get through them, and what kind of an impact did they have on your life or career?
So in the cannabis industry, there are a lot of shady people. People get into this industry thinking it's a get rich quick overnight type of a business, and it's not. It's like any other business. We've been burned a lot. I have been burned by many, many different people in the cannabis industry. People taking advantage of me, people promising me the moon and the stars and not delivering. And I really think what got me through it was perseverance, hard work, knowing that I had a mission and I had a goal. And even when things were taken from me unfairly by these people, I kept at it. I had a stick with it attitude.
Did you have any tips or tricks that you've used to get through those challenging times?
It takes, the first time I think anyone is burned, they just melt to the ground and, you cry, you're mad, you're angry. And it doesn't have to be business. It could be, a contractor at your house takes your money and doesn't come back to finish the job. Any time that you have been wronged, I guess is the right word, you feel a lot of anger and you feel a lot of hurt and, what could you have done differently? And what I tell people is that every instance in my life has been a learning process. I've learned something from it. So as bad as it may have been, and you could even look at your childhood, no one has a perfect childhood. So even something that's happened in your childhood, everything that you've gone through in life that has been upsetting to you has taught you something and you've learned something from it. And so with every instance that I felt taken advantage of, I learned something. I learned something of what not to do. I learned something about myself. I learned how to conduct myself differently the next time. I learned what to say, what not to say, what cards to hold close to my chest versus showing. And so I feel so much more equipped having gone through that at an early stage in my career in the cannabis industry, as opposed to being in it 10, 20 years and having a bigger burn. I feel like the burns, even though they burned, they were maybe smaller burns in the beginning of my career.
Absolutely. And definitely learning from those experiences is probably the biggest takeaway.
Absolutely.
And you're right. Whenever something, terrible or challenging has happened, it's always given us a lesson to learn from
right.
that. I think that's a great reminder. Thank you.
And I think life is not perfect. I always use the analogy that life is like a roller coaster. And so I'm trying personally to find the joy in the down times when things aren't going like you want. I'm trying to train my mind to find joy or find a lesson out of that maybe will help me when the up times are around the corner.
I love that. Finding joy in the down times.
Yeah.
So let's take a moment now and focus on your biggest triumphs. Can you share a little bit about what they have been and what made them so great for you?
So my biggest triumphs would be my children. I think as a mother, your greatest accomplishment is your children. And, they're thriving, even though I'm working crazy hours. They're thriving, even though I'm homeschooling one of them in the middle of a pandemic. And I feel guilty every day that he's not around friends. And so, I think the fact that I have healthy, happy, adaptable children is absolutely my biggest triumph.
That's wonderful. This actually leads right into my next question is, we juggle as women, we juggle so many different things, career, family, household responsibilities. Sometimes there's illnesses or caregiving. So how do you maintain a work-life balance, and how have you structured your team to help you manage all of those things?
So, I think I'm still a work in progress, but I try really hard to compartmentalize things. I have boxes. So I have my work box, I have my friendship box, I have my family box, and I try not to let them spill into one another. And that's been something that has been a work in progress to kind of learn how to keep those boxes all separate. But I'm really big on time boxing. So I schedule everything out. My workout is scheduled on my phone at 5:30. I have an alarm that goes off at 5:15. So if I'm in the middle of a project or, doing work, it's a reminder, hey, it's time to leave. It's time to go and work out. Or I try to schedule date nights with my husband or, girlfriend nights where either they come over or we, might go out. It's harder with the pandemic right now, but in a normal year, I'm definitely trying to have a little bit of fun in my personal life to try to keep me from not being burnt out in my professional life. But time boxing is huge. That's something and I'm still learning. I'm still not the best at it, but I really feel it's really important every minute is precious. And so, you've got to really plan out your week or your day to maximize the amount of hours, because we all have the same amount of hours in the day. So it's how we utilize those hours to make the most of it.
And I love how you mentioned, scheduling time for yourself and scheduling time with friends and with your husband. That's something that a number of our guests have also mentioned that they do, that they need to work out for their own mental and physical health. And so they schedule that time. It's in their calendar or their planner. And I think that's something that's so important for us to remember is to stick to that schedule, but still also be flexible, because life happens.
Right.
But to make that commitment to schedule time for ourselves, for our own well-being, but also to schedule time with friends and loved ones, because that's just as important as scheduling our work day.
Absolutely.
And so I'm really glad that you shared that. Thank you.
Yeah.
So Meredith, as a woman, how would you define success for yourself? And do you have any tips or habits that you use to help you to be successful or to feel successful?
I'm really big on happiness. Mental health to me is number one. Even for my kids. I mean, I even tell their teachers and their principal, mental health is what I care the most about. I don't care about grades. I don't care about homework as much. It's really mental health. And so for me, I really focus on my mental health. If I feel that I'm slipping or, my mind is going to places that, it's not unhealthy, I do things like maybe go shopping or get a pedicure, manicure. I try to carve out time for things that I get joy from, and try to be around friends who uplift me, family that uplifts me. And so those things definitely help. But success for me is really about being happy and making sure that my family is happy too. Money comes and goes. Even friends can come and go. And so, happiness within yourself is something that I think we're all either trying to achieve or continuously trying to better ourselves with. And so I've even done, some life coaching and things like that have helped. But when I feel happy, I think everyone's happy. What's the saying? If mama ain't happy, no one's happy, something like that. So I think there's a lot to be said there. If mama's happy, then the kids are happy, the husband's happy, and the household runs a lot smoother.
Absolutely. And I love that you tie success to happiness, because I think that's really what it's about. I mean, we all just want to be happy, right? That's ultimately what we're striving for. And, we think all of these external things are what's going to make us happy, but those are all subject to change. And like you said, they can come and they can go. And so when we tie our happiness to things, well, then when we no longer have those things, we're no longer happy.
Right.
So, finding that joy inside yourself, like you said, I think is spot on.
Now, don't get me wrong. If I find a good deal at TJ Maxx or Marshall's, I'm happy.
I will agree with that. Absolutely.
But it's a short-term happiness, it's a short-term happiness. And so just knowing that. And I think sometimes when you're newly starting out in a career, you think, well, once I hit this number in my salary or in revenue, I will be happy. And I'm here to tell you that I've had nothing and I've had everything. And it doesn't make a difference whether you are on top of the world with money or at the bottom of the barrel with money. You can find joy and happiness and pleasure in things that, I should say, in stuff that's not things, in creating memories with people and those types of experiences.
Oh, I love that you shared that. And it's such a powerful reminder to all of us that, just because somebody has a lot of money or high status doesn't necessarily mean that they're happy.
Right.
So that's a wonderful, wonderful reminder. Thank you.
Yeah.
Now let's take a moment and reflect on something that you wish you would have known sooner in life and share that with us.
I think that when I was younger, I didn't believe in myself like I do now. I was not sure that if I set my mind to it, I could achieve it. And going through certain life experiences that I have, I am 110% now certain that I can do anything I put my mind to. And I think sometimes as young adults, we maybe let things in our childhood or our young adolescent or young adulthood affect our mindset of where we want to go or where we think we should go in life. And you sometimes doubt yourself. You just feel that sometimes it's luck. Oh, my neighbor's lucky that they got this or got that or achieved this or achieved that, and it's not luck. It's about setting your mind to do something and believing in yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself, no one else is going to believe in you. My team wouldn't believe in me. My employees wouldn't believe in me. My children wouldn't believe in me. My mom wouldn't believe in me. No one would believe in me if I didn't believe in myself. So I set the bar for believing in myself and knowing, hey, I can do this. I can start a business from scratch and make it successful, and watch me.
I love it. Excellent advice there. So Meredith, what advice would you give to young women that are just beginning their careers?
It's definitely hard work. It is not going to just fall in your lap. You're not just going to get success overnight. Embrace the failures. Embrace the downtimes. Like I was saying, know that you don't need to compromise your values in order to be successful. But really knowing that being successful it's hard work, and there's sacrifices that you have to be prepared to make. And depending on where you are in your life, it just depends on what those sacrifices are. But there's been a lot of sacrifices that I've had to make in order to get to where I am with owning a successful business. And don't think it's going to be an easy road. Now, don't let that deter you, but it's not going to be all roses and dandelions. And I'm a very, very realist. My friends always say, you're such a realist. I'm not like a Cinderella story person. I'm very like, this is how it's going to be. So it's, to be real, it's not going to be all easy. There's going to be a lot of blood, sweat, and tears too.
Right. Absolutely. Nothing worthwhile comes without effort.
Right. So if someone had just told me that about like childbirth, no one told me how, hard it is. They all said, oh, you're just going to be in love and it's going to be wonderful. And no one really gives you the realness of what it's like.
Well, Meredith, we're nearing the end of our interview here. So if somebody wanted to get in contact with you, how would they get in touch with you?
So our website is cleanremedies.com. And our office number is 216-777-3133, or my email is mfarrow@cleanremedies.com.
Thank you so much, Meredith. It has been an absolute privilege speaking with you today. Thank you so much again for taking the time.
Thank you.
On Technology Partners wants to thank you for joining us on this episode of Women STaRs. If you would like to appear on a future podcast episode, or if you'd like to nominate a businesswoman to be interviewed for Women STaRs, please email stars@ontechpartners.com. My name is Shanti Harkness. Until next time, have a great day.
Thank you for joining us on today's journey. Remember, you are all Women STaRs. If you wish to learn more about our Women STaRs program, or want to be a guest on our show, contact us at stars@ontechpartners.com. And thank you to On Technology Partners for helping me make this program a reality. Remember, we at On Technology Partners want to help you protect your team from hackers. To learn more about our cybersecurity services, go to ontechnologypartners.com.